Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, let me talk to you this morning about how you are your own guru. Now, I have been in the online space for around 4.5 years. Started with blogging, then video blogging. My husband and I created a couple online programs, never really went anywhere. This is when we were still in chiropractic practice. When I was still in practice as well, too, I launched a podcast called Mom at 41 that went for around 13 months. And then I launched this podcast, Women Wanting More, in August of 2015. And I've now been coaching for the last year. I've had a live event. I have had online courses, group coaching, one-on-one. So just really fully immersed. And this is what I do now. Practice is now done. We closed the doors of our office in May of this year. I walked away from network marketing, my business side at the time, and just all in with this. But what's interesting is there are some women and men that have kind of put me on this pedestal. Now, this happened in chiropractic practice as well, too. You know, that people will take a look at what you're doing, don't see the climb to where you've done, right? Don't see the work you've put in, and think that you are some kind of like, I don't know, like superhuman, right? Like somehow you were the lucky one, or you're like special, or, you know, you're like the guru. You know, they look up to you, and it's very like flattering, it's very humbling. But here's the challenge with that, and here's why you need to be your own guru, right? If we constantly look, sister, for external things to help, quote unquote, help us, right? To give us the answers. Number one, you will never be able to listen to your own voice, which is directing you, your own inner compass, which I refer to as the voice. And you know, on top of that, you will constantly be reliant on somebody else on the outside to do things for you, right? So what happens is it removes some of the responsibility. It's like you're the guru. So I would see this in practice, and this is how this would roll. So a new patient would come in, they're like, this is great, I want to start care. We design a care program for them. They'd start getting adjusted. They'd feel better, and they'd go, great, Karen, Dr. Karen, you like fixed me, you helped me. Now, the way that we spoke to our patients and the education that we gave them to really understand like how chiropractic worked, how their body worked, how amazing that their body was, is like we would never take that credit, because like the honest truth is that was not us. That was their body healing. So if a patient would say to me, oh my God, thanks, Dr. Karen, like you fixed, like the words like fixed or helped or like healed or anything like that, I would be very quick to point out and just say, hey, listen, like I appreciate it. However, like this is your body. You want to give some credit? Give credit where it's due. It is your amazing body. I simply delivered the adjustment, which allowed your brain and body to communicate, and your body is what has healed you, not me. Now, you know, most would understand that, some didn't, and the ones that didn't, if something ever happened where now they were feeling more stuff, which is very common. Your body's healing. It's not like a linear thing from like you start from zero and then you go up to 100% function in your body. This is not the way it works. It's not the way life works, right? And there'll be some people who maybe they fall off track with their care schedule, and they've missed appointments, or they've got extra stress in their life, and suddenly they might interpret them feeling more stuff so they have more symptoms or different things, right? Which again is totally common and normal and okay. It's part of the healing process. But for some of these patients, they would interpret as, oh my God, this now is not, quote, working. It's your fault now. You didn't fix me. You didn't heal me right. That's why I'm feeling more stuff again. Now, again, the way that we educate our patients, it would not be a very common thing for this to happen, because we clearly educate, like at the beginning, ongoing. We talked about how the body heals. We talked about what health really truly means. But some, because they were so ingrained in what most of us grew up with, the medical model, which says, oh my God, if I hurt, something's wrong. And if I feel better, everything's great. But we know that that's not necessarily the case, right? Feeling bad is not a bad thing. If you have, something in your body that needs to get out, if you got food poisoning, You don't want to keep that in. That needs to come out. It's going to come out one end or the other, right? And you're going to feel like shit. Like you're going to feel like hell. But it is actually a healthy response. Your body's rejecting it, right? The same response as if you can feel great. People feel great all the time and have cancer growing in their body, right? The symptomatic thing, I feel like I got my Dr. Karen hat back on here. The symptomatic expression, the things that you feel. Feeling good's great. Feeling good is a sign of health. It's not the only factor, though. People feel great all the time and they're not healthy, right? And so there was that guru position that some of my patients would put me on that pedestal. And again, the biggest piece of this, and here's where I want you to not fall into the trap, is that, number one, it now removes responsibility from you. Which, that may be what you want. And I'm not judging you either way, sister. Like, it just is, right? It's very hard for us to accept sometimes the life that we have. Because it's been our choices that have gotten us there, right? Even if there are things that have, happened to us, let's say as children, we didn't have choices. It's still our choice to continue telling the story. It's still our choice to continue being the victim, to continue playing that role. And so taking responsibility, being your own guru, means that you are taking responsibility for life. But here's the flip side. That's amazing because that means that you get to design your life. You get to create your life. You get to say how you want your life to be because you're your own guru. You have the answers inside. You have the ability to listen to what the voice is prompting you to do. And you have the ability to listen to that or ignore it. And if you constantly think that, like me or the next book or the next podcast or the next course or the next seminar is going to do it for you, although those things may be incredibly helpful, if you're looking for the next thing to latch onto, it will never happen. You will never implement. You will never execute on the things that you've learned. You will never make changes. And that's hard, right? That's hard because I know for some of you, it comes from such good intention, you're searching and looking for and trying things, and that's amazing. But sister, listen, there comes a time when you got to stop all the, consumption of content and simply start acting on it. Start doing, taking fucking action. There's so much credo put into our world now because we have information at our fingertips, right? Google. We can figure out anything that we want. Incredible. What a time that we live in. But yet at the same time, we can get buried in the content and be paralyzed in taking any sort of action. So choose to be your own guru, sister. Choose to know that you have the answers inside of you. Say, as a coach, and I think as any great coach, and yes, I'm a great fucking coach. I'm an amazing fucking coach. It's not about giving you advice. It's not about telling you what to do. It's about asking you the questions, about helping you really discover what your path is. Because who the fuck am I to say what that is? Or anybody else? You know. And I know some of you will say, well, but I don't know. Yeah, you know. You know. And if you've been drowning out the voice for years and decades, it's going to take a little time for it to come back, right? You've been numbing with whatever means you numb. For some of you, it's booze, it's drugs, it's sex, it's Facebook, it's workouts. Yeah, you can numb with things that are healthy, but still doing things not to feel because you're not happy with where you are in your life right now. So when you start to listen to that again, it may take a little bit of time. Right? Because the voice has been like, dude, I've been giving you these signals and you're ignoring them. So whatever, screw you. I'm just going to hang back here. Do your thing. And when you're ready to listen again, I will return. Right? So here's your more tip for today then, sister. What is one thing that you can do to start really listening to that inner guru again? This is going to sound really esoteric, but what is one thing that you can do? I know for me, when I create, so these podcasts, Facebook posts, creation with me with clients and the results that they want to achieve with their coaching, right? Creating a new way to really deliver the message that I have with Women Wanting More. Creation, for me, helps me listen to the voice. Movement helps me listen to the voice. I get the best ideas. Even if I'm just driving the car, I got to a light. I'm driving my youngest to daycare this morning and I was like, oh, here's a great podcast. I'm going to record this today. So I'm at the light, had a second to go to my notes and just go, You were your own guru, so I could come back to that later, which I am right now. Movement might be getting out to nature, might be a way you can listen to your voice. What is one action you can take today that will allow you to start listening to your own voice and being your own inner guru? Because it's exactly what the 6 women that came to my live event just 2 months ago learned how to do. Learned how to really listen. They got really clear on what they wanted and why, and left those 2.5 days of that intense Women Wanting More live experience, what I'm now calling the More experience, to be able to get the things that they want within their life. It was incredible. So I want you to go over right now then, sister, and go over to drkarenosborne.com/live event. You're going to enter in your name and email, and you're going to immediate access to the movie. You'll be able to watch, just under 7 minutes, what happened with these 6 incredible women, as well as 5 of the 6, the post-event interviews of how their life has really changed consistently 4, 5, 6 weeks later. You will have a chance to apply. If your inner guru is telling you that you need to be this next live event, you will have an opportunity to actually apply and to do that. You're going to fill an application. You and I will get on the phone over the next 48 hours or so and really see if you are fit. Because it's 50% full. There's only 3 spots left. It is very limited. Only 6 women, sister. If the voice is telling you to be there, then now is the time. Take action on this. So that's over at drkarenosborne.com/live event. You can watch the movie, all the post-event interviews of these 6 incredible women, and really listen. What is the voice telling you to do with this? So I will talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.